Man, oh man, what a heartbreaking loss for Denver. They really blew that one. But with that being said, it was week one, and nobody plays perfect week one, and some people play amazing week one, and then they flame out, and others take off. So you never really know what to think of a team in week one, honestly. That's not an excuse with how this team played though. They some parts were very questionable and others were kind of cool on both sides. Um we're going to start off with just the overall stats though. And overall Broncos 433 total, 253 for the Seahawks, 330, 177 passing yards for them. So you could see 103.76 yards per play, 6.8, 5.2. They beat them on the stat game. They padded their stats better than they did. What really killed the Broncos, though, honestly, look at this. Look at this stat right here. 12 penalties. Sorry, Squidward. I'll bring it back. 12 penalties for 106 yards. That if you get 12 penalties for 106 yards, I expect you to lose, or at least like, come on, lose at least by more than 1 point, because that's a lot. I know Seahawks had 77, but that's not that bad. Five's not as bad as double digits, you know. Um, so that sucked on Denver's side, and also the two fumble losses. Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon both fumbled in the end zone. That was so sad. So very sad. And then both times Seahawks recovered it. Amazing for Seahawks. Great stop, forcing a fumble. It was like the Broncos had like 8 tries in the red zone or something like that, and they failed every time and turned it over twice. So sad. But they like if they could just capitalize on it. If those runs weren't fumbles, they would have at least been field goals, you know? And like that would have been 6 points on the board, and that's a 6 point swing Denver's favor. So I don't know. Different world. But also, there was no stopping Geno Smith on the Seahawks. That man was playing like a beast. I don't know if it was the Denver's defense lacking a bit without a preseason with the starters, or if it was just like the Seahawks offense had their number. But man, Geno Smith was playing wild. It was kind of really cool to watch. That was a cool thing for Seattle. That and Rashad Penny, he was running hard too. That it was cool to see him doing good because like wasn't he like almost a bust? And like I don't know, we Broncos make running backs look really good. They're really good against the run usually, but they still tend to make certain guys like really good. But I mean, I think Rashad Penny will still be good next week either way. But still, but yeah. Also, Broncos had 64 plays. On 64 plays, you only get 16 points. That's a bit sad. They should have had more. They didn't really use Russell Wilson as much as I thought they would. Like they threw their tight ends a lot, and like in the first quarter, they didn't hit Judy or Sutton once. Like they need to throw to Judy, Sutton, Hamler. They need to throw to all of them guys in the first quarter. Get them involved early. Like what was that about? The first time Judy caught a pass, he went for a touchdown, and that was in the second quarter with 6 minutes left. So, like, like they could have torched these guys. I don't know what was going on. The Seahawks do have a good defense, but I mean, it's okay. It shouldn't be holding Jerry Judy and Cortland Sutton all first quarter, you know. Oh, and another thing though, the Seahawks they kept doing a lot of play action quick passes, and that was working so well. The Broncos were just biting on the run with Rashad Penny running good. They were just biting on the play action, and just Geno Smith was eating. He was feasting. It was pretty dope. And the Broncos, they were whiffing. So many whiffed tackles by the Broncos. It was upsetting. You see Bradley Chubb miss a couple. He did get 2 sacks. He made up for it. He got 2 sacks. But he whiffed a couple freaking tackles. He did a couple things. It was all like I don't know. Everyone whiffed a couple tackles. It was so sad. And then Justin Simmons gets hurt. Quinn Miners gets hurt. I don't know. Seahawks, I think, had a few injuries I haven't looked yet, but so sad. Oh, I think Jamal Adams for the Seahawks. So sad. Man, it was a wild first half. And also, the delay of games, I guess wild game in general, but the delay of games penalties also. Broncos had 2 delay of games, and Seahawks had none. But that happens in Seattle. They have a crazy fan base. It gets loud there. Also, the Broncos would have so much offense and just like do like so much, waste so much clock, and only get a field goal. So I don't know. I think there was pretty bad play calling. I think it'll get ironed out, and they'll learn from their mistakes, and they'll get it. I still think they should have won. If Javante didn't fumble, he never fumbles. Sometimes he fumbles. I guess he just did. But if him and Melvin Gordon didn't fumble, that would have been 2 touchdowns or at least 6 points. But it was crazy. I don't know. So heartbreaking to see the loss, but it's not the end of the world. They actually performed kind of good on the stat sheet besides the horrible penalties and the fumbles. But no picks, 330 yards passing, 103 yards rushing. I don't know. I think this team will bounce back and be good. And then on the Seahawks, for the other hand, I think they'll be average. They'll probably be like a middle-of-the-road team. I don't think they'll be as horrible as people say they will. Unless, I don't know. I don't think Geno Smith will continue to play as he did, though. I don't know. They'll probably manage to get a few wins here and there. But in general, I think the Broncos should have won this game. They had so many opportunities, and they just wasted them. They wasted a few of them. They got us so many flags. Some of them might have not been their fault, but I mean, at the end of the day, they could have all been avoided. Hopefully, if you think about it, hopefully they could have all been avoided. I guess a couple extra highlights though on the Broncos side. I already talked about Jerry Jeudy's cool touchdown. Randy Gregory on his debut, he had a forced fumble. That was pretty cool. Recovered by Denver. That was nice to see. Montrell Washington, he took it out the end zone, and he wasn't doing very good. I felt bad for the guy. And then on the Seahawks side, Geno Smith, he played really good. Rashad Penny. Oh, Will Dissly. Dude, Will Dissly tears up the Broncos. Last time he played, he tore them up, and this time he has 3 for 41 and a touchdown. That's wild. Oh, and then DK, he kind of was beating Patrick Surtain, but not for big yards. They were holding him pretty good, only 36 yards. I thought he'd have more on 7 catches, so I don't know. It was pretty good. And Noah Fant, it kind of sucked to see him in a Seahawks jersey and not a Broncos. He was okay. But yeah, all in all, it was a good game to watch. And then thank y'all for watching. Catch y'all later. Peace out. Broncos should have beat the Seahawks, and they'll beat the Texans next week. Woo!